Hello, this is David Lowry with Live for Music City. We have SIR Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm sitting here with Guthrie Govan of the Aristocrats, and we're going to talk about the new CD and their live performance tonight at the Rutledge in Nashville, and just find out a little bit about his experience in the music business. Welcome to the show. We appreciate having you on.
It's good to be on. Thanks for having me.
Now, being somebody who's world-renowned as an instrumentalist, what are some of the struggles you find as an instrumentalist in making things happen for your career?
Well, whatever I say, I should preface it with this. I maybe started playing music for a different reason to a lot of the other guys I meet in the industry. I started playing guitar for the same reason that I learned to speak English or learned to walk. You know, I've always done it for as long as I can remember. So the idea of trying to make a living out of it actually came to me pretty late, in my early 20s. I was doing the university thing, trying to get an English degree, and then thought, I'm being torn both ways here. You know, I've got the clever guy option over there, or the reckless fool music angle over here. I should choose one and do it properly. And I really didn't know how to go about it, but instantly it became apparent that there is no established career ladder. It's not like trying to establish yourself in the world of banking or something. Sometimes if you want a job in music, you have to invent it. So the way I started out was through transcribing. As a self-taught guy, you know, I've always just transcribed for myself. And I realized a lot of people struggle with that stuff. So I thought, well, this is the perfect kind of job to invent, something that I find easy and other people don't. I'll try and capitalize on that. So I just sent transcriptions off to guitar mags, and they started printing them. So through that stuff, through being one of the guitar magazine guys in the UK, I started to get offered work teaching in the guitar schools around there. And I was just going along with all this. I didn't really have a clear vision of how I wanted to make a living. And through working at the guitar schools, I met more professional musicians. One of them hooked me up with the band Asia, and that was really my first experience living on a tour bus, having to apply for work permits and gigging the exotic way. And I guess over the last 10 years maybe, I've been trying to streamline what I do and try and tailor my working life as a musician so it's closer to the stuff that I care about personally and the stuff where I feel the hardest to replace.
Well, now knowing that and experiencing all you've done in the last 10 years or so, how have you found being able to practice loving what you do and balancing out with the business side of things without it spoiling your love for playing the instrument?
It's a test, I guess. It's only through doing it that you find out if you really do love playing enough to tolerate all the nonsense that comes with it as part of the package. But honestly, I can't imagine not playing music. There'd be this horrible hole in my life if you removed music, and I can't think of anything else that would replace it. So I try not to think about this stuff now. It feels like I have to do this. It's my calling, and also I'm not 20 anymore. There isn't anything else I could do now if I chose to stop this.
So you're basically forced to do it whether you want to or not.
Yeah, which is
it's
good.
Your living, It's your living. So
it's one less thing to have to worry about, isn't it? Once you realise that decision has been made. There's no point questioning it. You just kind of keep going.
Absolutely. So now, doing what you do, you're an instrumental guitar player for the most part, even though you did Asia, which was a pop rock progressive band to some extent. How much harder is it for your music to get out there doing instrumental stuff, even though you're in a band with two other really well-known players? What is the difference between doing something like this and doing something like Asia, which had already had a successful career before you joined?
Yeah, they had a particularly successful career before I joined. And honestly, it's okay. Doing this stuff, it feels like every time we'll come back to a territory, we'll expect the crowd to have grown a little bit, which is kind of the opposite to the way things were feeling with Asia. I mean, Asia have a very, very hardcore, dedicated fan base, but it's not as huge as it was.
So with this, is it you find that people are more willing because of your experience with that band to listen to the Aristocrats, or do you find that just because of the sheer amount of music available today that it's just hard to get the word out?
I don't know, with the internet functioning the way it does, it seems surprisingly easy to get the word out. Just to be able, for someone like me, to fly 8 time zones away and play ridiculous instrumental music, and some people come to see it.
Right.
That's a miracle. That wasn't possible when I was at school.
Absolutely.
So the internet's just this weird thing that's taken on a life of its own, and I don't pretend to understand how it works, but somehow the word gets out there.
Right, right.
If anything, with this band, I sometimes wonder if giving it a proper band name like this, instead of just 3 people's surnames, might actually work against us. I've met a lot of people who love Marco's thing, or what I do, or whatever, and they didn't know about this band, or they've seen the name on a poster and they haven't put 2 and 2 together.
Right, right.
But it was quite an important thing for us, not just to be another kind of fusion supergroup project kind of thing. We wanted it to feel like a rock band, and we thought this should have a proper band name.
Right.
And then we're kind of selling what we do honestly, and hopefully that'll help people to perceive it in the right way.
Now, the CD itself is solid. I don't know if, for those of you who have not heard this, if you like instrumental music at all, this is one of the best albums I've heard in the last 10 years. So you really need to check it out. It's the Aristocrats, and you can find it at...
well, you could go to the band website, I think the dash or hyphen or whatever, Aristocrats, another hyphen, band.com.
Right. And, really definitely give it a listen and check it out. With the reputation that all 3 of you already have as musicians, did you feel any pressure to put out something that was stellar, or did you just guys say, we're going to get together and make it happen, and whatever comes out, comes out?
Well, musically, we met just through a fortunate accident, really. I was called in at the last minute to replace Greg Howe just for a one-off 30-minute gig at the NAMM show in January of last year. And whilst playing those 30 minutes of music, each of us realised, hang on, this is working. There's a kind of chemistry here that we weren't prepared for. So we should just capture that. So all we were really thinking about when we made this record was we want to capture that kind of energy. There's a certain communication that happens with this combination of people, and it doesn't need to be discussed. We don't need to design a band mission. All we have to do is do the stuff that we like, and we all seem to click with each other.
Right.
So it just felt good.
Awesome. What if somebody's going to come out and catch you on tour? What can they expect to find at an Aristocrats show?
I would say, obviously, it's muso music rather than pop songs. If there's anything that kind of distinguishes it from a lot of the other muso things out there, I think there's a real rock energy, which sometimes can disappear if you concentrate too hard on playing everything perfectly. But there's a certain filthy, raw edge to the sound that this band naturally has. And there's a sense of fun, I think. We all just genuinely enjoy playing. So it's not that thing where we're kind of grandstanding and saying, check out our chops, look at this sweep arpeggio and tremble. It's just a joyous kind of thing. We enjoy being able to play this stuff, and hopefully that comes across. Generally, the people we talk to after the shows seem to think we've conveyed some of that. So good.
How long is the tour going on for?
This tour is a bit of a tease. I think we have about 8 dates over the next week and a bit, then a few days off, and then we have 2 special gigs in a place called Alva's in San Pedro, all the way over on the west coast.
Okay.
And we're going to film them. We're going to make a DVD.
Oh, absolutely awesome. All right, folks. It's Guthrie Govan. His band is the Aristocrats. They're playing in Nashville, Tennessee tonight, and you can catch them for the next couple of weeks across the country. Make sure you check them out. All you have to do is type in the Aristocrats in your Facebook search engine, and you can find their band page immediately. Give it a like and spread the word about them. Guthrie, thank you for your time. We appreciate it very much, and we'll see you at the show tonight.
Excellent.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you.